Mid-September. Nice breeze. Kind of cool, a little humid. Still a little too hot for me. But September is masterpiece. The term masterpiece seems to be bandied about during this month, and also September's the month for where Labo interest kind of peaks because of the city exclusives, and that makes sense. And people are on that. People like Rudy. Hey, bro. Hey. A little news on that. I recently stepped inside a Nordstrom's because I was doing an economic analysis of our big mall here, the Ala Moana Mall, once touted as the biggest mall in the world, I think in the late 50s or something, early 60s. And then the Labo inside the Nordstrom's. I went there exclusively to spray one of our blokes, our friends. He lives in Paris and he only sports one Labo, and that's Patchouli 24, and I don't remember smelling that. And then they didn't have the bottle. They only had like 10 bottles, right? Because this is a warm area. And Patchouli 24 was not one of them, but the guy had those little samples, those 0.75 ml brown cardboard samples. He gave me one, and I got to sniff that, and it's nice. I get medicinal, but also they had like 3 or 4 city exclusives, including Gaiac 10, which I liked. That's Tokyo, right? I could wear that. I like Gaiac wood. I love cedar. I like sharp edges. I think I like it sharp edges more than creamy, rounded, perfectly blended sandalwood. I like sandalwood, but I don't love it, I don't think, after all this time. So I like Gaiac 10. And I think they had vanilla, and then the tobacco. The tobacco one smelled like cigarette, some part of a cigarette burning or not lit. But I was happy to see some city exclusives in my town, and it's September. And like I said, I got to try that Pradeep 24 from Labo. So that's September. And then I started rolling this as I'm walking here. In my black attire. I refuse to get new walking sneakers because I don't want to pay $200 for red whatevers. And I'm old and I can do what I want. But $200 saved. Now, masterpiece. I like to stretch on these trees, touch them, get some electrons. It's called grounding. I walk around with no shoes on a lot too, on grass. And it's good for you. You big heavy hitters probably don't walk around with bare feet ever in your office towers. So, masterpiece, it can be argued back and forth for 12 hours. Couple things for sure though. I think to declare a masterpiece, somebody of authority should be doing it, right? It's all about opinion, right? So everyone can say that this is my masterpiece or not. But to draw hard lines, let's just say some people are better qualified to declare masterpieces than others, right? Obviously some rookie compared to, you know, somebody who's got some years of experience and is respected. The wind's coming at me. I wonder if she can smell my Dior Homme Intense from here. Scent of the day, Dior Homme Intense 2011. I sprayed it kind of strategically. Instead of in a wide spray from a distance, I tend to I micro sprayed in puddles in about 3 spots. My theory on that is you don't have one huge bubble, you have more wafting. So a person could be like not smelling it at all of a sudden you move or something shifts and they get a waft, a big waft of your fragrance when you spray close and spray wet. That's my story on that. So someone with some experience, that's obvious, right? So I'm not in a position to declare something a masterpiece. You know, I'm in a position to just maybe say this is a masterpiece from my collection. I think after these years and maybe all these years wearing fragrance, which is most of you slackers out there, because you guys are a lot younger than I am. So I'm trying to think of another clear-cut qualification for a masterpiece dissemination. Popularity and how much money it made, I guess, for the most part, shouldn't be entered into the equation. Just say like Chanel No. 5, right? It was one of the first 10 greats in history. But does that make it a masterpiece? But then you'd have more than half people say today that Chanel No. 5 is a masterpiece. So time-tested popularity and success, that's very debatable. It can't be neglected, but and then performance. It should have some performance, right? What good is a perfume if it lasts only 22 minutes and is literally gone? In my opinion, it's next to useless. I mean, so perfume's gotta be perfume. It's gotta be a little bit strong. So let me know your opinion of what ironclad specifications have to be drawn before you start throwing around the word masterpiece. We had this discussion before. I'm under the gun here. I'm just doing this on the fly. Just give it my scent of the day. 2011 DHI. The powderiness, it counteracts the heaviness, and you're fine at the nighttime in the summer. recognition by respected critics, wouldn't you say? That's got to be the main one. Maybe you are a writer or you're a big collector, all that matters. So someone with big experience and who is pretty open-minded and not skewed, not so hard-headed, making decisions. I got some ideas of what are masterpieces, and then some of them, there's no question about it, they are masterpieces because we mention them all the time. And those are, for instance, so like Derby is a masterpiece. I would say yes. I'd say the Dior Homme line from Christian Dior is a masterpiece. And for me, I would not argue if you said the EDT, especially from 2005 or 2011, but I would put at the forefront Dior Homme Intense as the masterpiece front runner of that line. Chanel Pour Monsieur is a masterpiece. It might even be my #1 candidate for the greatest man's cologne ever. Mitsuko or Chanel #5. I can wear Mitsuko easier than Chanel #5, but then I would think, what's the real masterpiece? Chanel #5 or Coco? And Chanel #5 is revolutionary. I would ask which one is the masterpiece, Shalimar or Coco? Coco EDP. There's a tough one, so maybe I'll leave it on that. Which one's more of a masterpiece? Shalimar, or how they say it in Ontario, Shalimar, or Coco EDP? Nice out. Wearing my Dior. So maybe I'll upload this. Talk to you all later. I'm gonna go bother some people and do my usual can you smell me from there routine, and I'll upload it on the premium channel, the Bobby O Premium, where I give results of interviews and polls of compliments and projection. Goodbye.